Because the fact is that over the past century, okay, 100 years, so many presidents have tried and failed to meet the challenge of healthcare reform. But your president was determined. The families going broke because a child got sick. The woman dying of cancer whose insurance company wouldn't cover her care. And let me tell you, that's what kept him pushing day after day. That's why he fought so hard for this historic reform. And today, understand what this reform means. Because of this reform, our parents and grandparents are paying hundreds less already for their prescription drugs. Our kids, our young people, can now stay on our insurance until they're 26 years old. And we all know that these young people graduating, trying to get themselves together, find a job, being able to do that now, knowing that they have the care that they need. Because of this reform, insurance companies, they now have to cover basic preventative care, things like contraception, and no extra cost. They can no longer discriminate against you because you have an illness they call a pre-existing condition. And here's one that really gets me. If you get really sick, you got a serious illness like breast cancer, and you need really expensive treatment, your insurance company can no longer tell you, sorry, you've hit your lifetime limit and we're not paying a penny more. No longer. Because of this reform, that is now illegal. So make no mistake about it. This November, we get to decide. Do we want these reforms to be repealed? Or do we want the people we love to have the care that we need? That's the choice in this election. That's why we're here. This election is a choice about whether our kids can attend college without the amount of debt. Now, believe it or not, back when Barack and I, we were first starting out our lives together, so in love, so broke. Our combined student loan bill each month was actually higher than our mortgage. And I know there are people here who can relate to that. So when it comes to student debt, believe me, my husband and I, we've been there. And that's why Barack worked so hard to double funding for Pell Grants and to stop student loan interest rates from rising. He wants all of our young people to get the education they need for the jobs of the future, the jobs that they need to be able to compete for. They've got to have that education.
That's right.
Your president wants all of our young people to fulfill their promise, all of them. And that's why he's been fighting so hard for the DREAM Act.